All right. Well, hey there, family. Welcome to Old Gods of Appalachia Actual Play, the game by Monty Cook based on the Old Gods of Appalachia podcast. And I want to welcome you as we begin our tale once more with Charlie, Basil, Ruby, and Ivy. And welcome to the first session of our new story. Story 2, Dark and Dank, Part 1. Well, if you are used to other games, you know that there are channel points that you may spend. And while many things don't make as much sense in the world, what's not Dungeons and Dragons, but feel free to use inspiration if you so desire, as they can give some advantage to our friends. But how you choose to do that is up to you. With that, we'll begin our tale. Wilson Randolph sat on the crate he was accustomed to, chewing his tobacco. Kennett tobacco. Quite honestly, as much as he despised it, the best that you could get in North Carolina. As he spit some of it to a spittoon next to an empty briefcase. It was next to a suitcase, next to a trunk, which was next to more luggage. The lost luggage cart carried by the Tweetsy Railroad that came in and out all around Appalachia has grown unusually large. And they all had one thing in common. A man known as Wilson Randolph scratched his long white beard, came down just below his clavicle. He liked it that way and gave him a little bit of credit when dealing with train jumpers and homeless folks. And once he didn't really mind, he just had to make sure that the bosses didn't see and things went on okay. And looking a little like them, well, just helped. He kept it well maintained and trimmed to help with the other customers and riders. Wilson had a bad habit of making friends. Usually a good asset, but not on the Newland route from Avery County. See, with Kennett Penitentiary that manages the 7,500-acre tobacco farm in Avery County, they had been renting their folk out to B&L number 14, and this had put many a man in Newland out of a job. And while they were either going to starve and die or, well, hop on a train and get somewhere else. And some walked, but many did take the train. But not to any destination that Wilson could name. I mean, he knew what was stamped on his ticket, sure. In fact, he took them all out. 25 in all. So it was his job to take them and mark where they came on and where they came off. In each one, there was no departure. No luggage he handed them. And no matter how many people he asked, no one saw them get off. They're just gone. Wilson was never a man who could mind his own business. Heck, he knew that's why he was good at what he did. Usually it paid off, not maybe for him, but for those he helped. And today, he just hoped nothing unfortunate happened. As he stepped off Tweetsy number 5, into Newland, this place where many had been leaving, but they hadn't been getting anywhere, at least not that he could tell. He knew enough in the towns like these to take it slow. He knew a lot of people, especially the man walking up with a harmonica amongst 3 ladies, one of them very young. Was he really meeting a church group? Well, Wilson thought to himself, something sure is going on. And by God, he was going to get to the bottom of it. Now, Charlie, Baser, Ruby, and Ivy. Anything before you would like to meet the church group that you are volunteering with today?
Out of character, I'm scared for Charlie. No, I'm good. I got my books.
In this is I guess a time period question. Would Charlie have left his hat behind? But this is if he's coming as part of a church group. Is he probably coming without his hat?
That's a really good question. I don't have a great answer for, so you can do whatever you'd like.
Okay.
You want one of our pretty floral bonnets?
Okay. I think he'll have the hat, but he will once he sort of meets the church group, he will take it off, and he's actually attempted to comb his hair this morning, so it's a little less messy, and he's got his guitar. He's got his full-on guitar.
Ivy's up early this morning. She was grading a couple papers and helping Toby out with his spelling. And before they get ready, she makes sure and goes and heads into her room, digs through her closet. She has one good Sunday dress that her mom bought her before she disappeared. And she pulls it out, looks at it. All right, it's time to put you on. And then gets dressed.
I think I've hollowed out my book to hide my cipher in. And I've changed a couple book covers to not offensive work. Pretty much all I've done. And panicked a lot.
Anything for Ruby?
What cipher did I use last time for the day before? Did I use the one that gave me good interactions with a bunch of people?
All I remember is it went in your shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the one with a bunch of people.
Okay. Well, before she got dressed, she went to the I guess the spring or the waterfall or whatever, to wake up the cipher that she's had, and she will do. She will say the name of Ty, so that all positive interactions with him will be eased by 2 steps. And then she came back. She's got a nice fancy set of clothing that she put on it. She put on her black cloche. And did her hair and put on a little bit of makeup.
Nice.
Well, don't we all look almost respectable this morning?
My dress itches.
Eh,
You get used to it.
I did say almost.
Yeah.
Well, are you all ready?
Sure is. All right.
Ready as I'll ever be, Miss Ivy. Let's yep.
All right, Toby, remember, lock the door and don't go wandering off. You stay home, okay? Work on your English and your homework.
All right, sis, I'm gone, yeah. So you all make your way to the church group. You're quite used to, sort of. As you make your way here, there is a good 12 of you now that the 4 of you have arrived. And even given the cold reception of yesterday, these seem to be a bit more, glad for the help. These boxes are heavy, and even whatever they may think of some of you and what you all might be doing in that house, they ain't going to complain about the heavy things being carried, especially with their old bones. And I do want to add for today, you all have a free asset you can use whenever you'd like to a roll. And sure enough, they begin walking with you over to B&L number 14 here. And it is there that they begin talking to you. Preacher starts saying, now, remember everybody, and for our new folk, we don't want to be handing them anything other than what we brought. We're not giving them any other things. So they know, quite right, except the good book, what they came out with, and just help scan it over there. And remember, they are on lease and they are borrowed. So everyone be good. And don't go anywhere off by yourself. Make sure there's at least 2 of you, and that you're inside of at least 2 others. Right? And if you see ones that are near you, just give a holler. We ain't having any problems, and well, most of these are good boys who made some bad decisions, but we don't want to be, well, you know what they say, wise as serpents, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. You just, Pastor, you tell me when you want me to start playing some hymns and playing some of the Lord's music. You just let me know.
Oh, absolutely. You take some time. There's usually, as we get the food going and everything, they'll come, and it's good to talk with them, give them a little bit of conversation. It's the only, I would say positive conversation most of these men are going to have all week. So keep yourself Just talking, and I'd keep both hands on that fine instrument of yours.
I will, I will, sir.
All right. Now, Miss Ivy, I didn't quite realize you were coming. Will you be teaching something? I can always try to get some men towards you if you want. Are you muted, Josh? I'm not sure.
You cut out for me.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Okay. Said, Miss Ivy, you going to be teaching something? You can always make an audience if you'd like.
I mean, I just started. I haven't really got much teaching under me yet. I think today I'm just gonna be helping out with the food, if that's okay.
Sure. Just ready for anyone to hop in any way they can. That's all. All good. All right. And goes, anything that we can make sure we do for you two women?
No, sir. I believe we're all right. These are just some old books that we were just gonna send back anyways. Might as well get some learning out of them.
That sounds quite good. All right. But you, Ruby, was it?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
All right. Well, let's get this going then. And you begin approaching. And here you see the mining crew of Beano number 14. A good 50 men today. All bearing the blue shirt and blue jeans with a blue belt. Even their mining caps are blue. Everything blue, no variation. In order to denote their very special affiliation to Kennett Penitentiary. And they've all been gathered, and no food delivered today, as you all are bringing, and they are ready, if not a bit weary, ready to go. Looks on their eyes like, all right, we gotta endure this to get some food, but man, that potato salad sure is good. And sure enough, the food is put to the side, as they all know it's going to be, as the women and the preacher begin going one-to-one and having some conversations and talking about the good book. And y'all really left to do what you would like to do.
Can we say beforehand I told Ruby which book I hollowed out and hid the thing in?
Yeah, what would you like to do?
I think he said we should go 2 by 2, so I think I'm gonna let Ruby take the lead while talking to prisoners, and maybe like we start like 2 or 3 away from Ty, and then not make it obvious.
All right.
I think Charlie will actually sort of. He's kind of like what he usually does. He's not going to try to play while they're, while the pastor is doing his thing, but he will kind of help with sorting, but try to basically be keeping an eye out. So watching where Ruby and Basil go, keeping an eye on Ivy, and just sort of keeping an eye on the whole group at the moment. So find himself a spot that he can do that.
All right. Up to a few. Well, you can tell they. What are y'all doing there with your conversations?
Oh, I guess Ruby and Basil are, Ruby, I guess, will just go up to the ones that have already spoken to the preacher.
Okay, the ones that he's making the
Yeah.
rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and asking them, I guess, how they're feeling. God, I am so terrible. Like, Courtney is terrible with conversations. I'm trying to think.
Well, we could ask them, like, what are their interests, so that we could, like,
Oh yeah, pick out books based
out
on their
books
interests.
for
Yeah.
them. Yeah. That way
Wow.
it's not obvious why we're handing certain books to certain people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you're trying to find out?
I think the most in-depth conversation she would go into would be with Ty.
Okay. So it's excuse me. Easy enough you're able to get over to Ty. He's a young man, rather handsome looking, and is very more keeping his eye on everybody else. You see a few folks who look a little bit more on the shady side take a look, and sure enough, they can see Ty Donovan with his eyes on him. And they immediately, they immediately stop doing whatever it is they're going to. Keeps an eye, and he looks, when he's not looking at everybody else, you can see him examining just eyes that pay really close attention. When he breathes and feels like he can, see him look out north.
Good afternoon, Ty.
Well, hi, y'all. Good to meet you by daylight.
Yeah. Did those stones help?
Looks. Don't need to be saying that too loud, but yeah. Gotta tell you though, a lot of them, they had to go back to their cells last night. A lot of times we get to stay here, but I don't know, something about something going wrong in the mines. They didn't really give us any information, but they all made us go back to our cells and back up to Kennett. And let's just say those come in real handy at night in Kennett.
Oh. Well, I can believe that. I guess there would be quite a bit of negative energies going on over there.
Yeah.
Is he sitting down? Is there a place to sit next to him?
Yeah, you can sit next to him.
Okay. And she's not, she isn't speaking loud about this, but well, we're trying to get it to where they stop using you guys in the mines. Would that be
Don't know
something
if-
that would be best?
Well, in a way, I guess. Let me tell you this. Because I believe y'all have a heart. Because whatever you did, everyone's been calm since you did it. since that night you were here. Whether it's Kennett or the farms around here, they ain't nothing good for Kennett men.
Yeah.
Now, there are too many for me to care about, to be honest with you, but these men, they're all fine. Yeah, they've made their mistakes, but you've seen what's down there, right?
Yeah. We.
Oh, you calmed it down, but there's still things down there.
No.
I don't want to lead these men back to a different place for them to be eaten or whatever it is those things do when you ain't looking. I've heard enough things about some of the other places, and I think some of the other sides might be a bit worse, to be honest with you. So if you all want to get this mine, looks, we'd all like to go home.
Maybe instead of doing something about the mine, we could do something about the prison.
That's a big thing. Or just a few men.
If there was like a distraction while you were in the mines and people laughed, would that put the prison in a bad light?
A jailbreak? Because of the leasing of prisoners to a dangerous mine?
Yeah,
Well, that's a headline, ain't it?
it is a headline. The question is, do you think it's possible?
I tell you this. You get me some distance, and I can get these men to my home. And there, it's a bit hard to find, unless you can find it like I can. That's what I'll tell you.
If you were able to make two people who generally get along start, I don't know, a confrontation with each other, would that help you get distance?
He thinks for a moment. Well, one who leases us, that's Ross Bailey. He leases us and makes sure only he feeds us just enough so that we don't fall unconscious.
What if we could leave some food outside of the mine in the direction you plan on going when you do the jailbreak? Would that help?
Well, sure. Sure. I could get us close. And that'll give us a little bit more energy to get out of here. But you see, he kind of takes a Bible out of your hand and starts thumbing through it, trying to make some stuff here. Goes, but
would you be able to cause maybe a cave in at the mine as well to help distract further?
That's dangerous, but if we had a time to do it, maybe we could. Tell you what, if I can't do much out of here, what I can do is get all the men on board.
Who should Ross fight with?
Well, maybe we could go in and set something up and leave a overnight, so to speak, and leave something that will alert you of that.
Well, I can already tell you're more like my grandma, so whatever you say.
Well, I think we have the perfect book for you. She'll say a little bit louder. I think we have the perfect book for you. Basil?
Give him the book.
Thank you. And this has the...
It has the thing in it and the description of what to do.
All right. You can tell he looks. He's not sure who to make the guy fight. He's kind of thinking.
I forgot what the other guy's name was.
I don't remember.
The
warden.
No, not the warden. The guy that's in charge of the
Ross.
charge.
Ross is the one in charge, but there's another name I can't think of right now.
He's with the actual railroad company.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. My brain's blanking. I think Basil will just say, nice thing about books is they give you wisdom right when you need them. You know what to do with your information. Kind of like trying to be like, see an opportunity, use it.
Right.
Like if there's someone like in the mine or someone she can cause the chaos.
He nods. I guess I want to figure out what you all wanted to do here, because we want to keep the action with all of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I think that. Oh, sorry. Someone else go.
I was just gonna ask, Matt, has there been like explosives or anything around, like around here, the mine?
Yeah, there are explosives and drills and that stuff.
So I think when Ivy's around, walking around with her bread basket, handing out bread, she's going to try to use her new power, which is draw an item for 2 intellect points. A loose object within short range that could carry in one hand is drawn to your free hand. If the object is stuck or held by another creature, you must succeed on a might roll to rip it free. So I'm just gonna walk around, and any pieces of loose dynamite or TNT or anything she can see, she's just gonna slowly grab it to her hand and put it in the bag.
Okay.
I am here for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely a challenge, because not like
Yes.
the dynamite's like, woo. It's going to be contained and secured.
Yep.
But I think you can get sight of it if you go through like the right window. That makes sense to me. So yeah, you spend your points, and that's it. Just says up to GM to determine the difficulty, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'd say, yeah, given who's securing it, I'm going to set this at a rating 4.
Okay.
You can spend effort or whatever you want to do.
I rolled an 18.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I rolled
It is.
before I realized I could spend effort.
It's okay. So how do you imagine this working?
So I imagine as like Ivy's going around handing bread out to the guards, even in like the workers, and she's seeing a little piece, you know. She's just like kind of distracting, and like her hand goes underneath, like kind of under the breadbasket. And so as she's handing out bread and letting people like look into the breadbasket underneath, a piece of dynamite's like slowly sliding to her hand. And if anybody does try to catch on or notice her, she would have used her other powers, but luckily no one caught on. She's
Yeah,
just...
no, I mean, it just slides in. So you need a little bit of explosives.
I hope this will work. I don't know what everybody's planning, but it seems like a good idea.
Is the if we see the warden's office, or is he there?
Oh no, the warden is nowhere nearby. He's at the prison, which is quite a ways away. Like they are leased to this mine.
But Mr. Ross is there?
He's around, yeah. He does it most come. You can see he does have an office in which he's taking his lunch there.
Totally want to stick Chaucer in there for an old lady to find. Oh.
So yeah, I didn't want to interrupt earlier the conversation, which was cool. But while that's happening, while Ivy's walking around, Charlie's just kind of innocently helping the ladies, using his charm to distract them so that they don't notice Ruby and Basil spending more time with Ty than the other prisoners, and sort of nothing like really overt, but just, asking them potentially dumb questions when he needs to grab attention.
Yeah, I would say it's like a level 2 intellect challenge.
Okay. Level 2, that's a 6 or higher?
Yep.
That is a 8.
Yeah, so they get it wears on him eventually, and they get fine. We're gonna let this man be nice to us, I guess. Fine, we'll do this, and they okay, well, and you get to help them, and yeah, everyone moves around, and past is busy, and no one quite notices this more just deeper conversation. And so I'm going to say, Ty can write the names in the books. You're going to have to give him the other name, like who you want him
Please
to.
remind us what the other name was of the.
There were two people in charge of this mine, Ross and
Warden.
Well, the
Not
warden,
the
yeah,
warden,
Warden Bateman.
Vincent
Bateman.
Bateman. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't I have written out the instructions, and I'll have written those two names on the piece of paper. Can I have done that?
You can. I'm trying to get what do you want to happen.
For him to use it at an appropriate time to cause the most chaos he can so that they can get out.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is you look in here, the warden doesn't come here.
not the warden.
Is
There
there
was
somebody
the
from
guy-
the BL mine? Is what we're trying to figure
I
out.
thought that was Ross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ross is from the
Okay.
BL mine. Ross leases. He's the only authority here.
So who would be the next head guard, I guess?
It's
Ty.
really not here. Ty
Okay.
is Ty is like the one that keeps everybody on.
Gotcha.
I guess I'm thinking I
His
kind of
idea is like if you cause problems, you go to somewhere worse.
So is
Generally
there,
speaking, like
guess-
people are like good here. There's not like this guard. Like
I think Ruby had mentioned it last week. It was either Ruby or Charlie that if we got Ross really pissed off, he's the type to have leave the mind and go talk to the warden. And I think we were talking about if we could get him to do that, we could get the prisoners out.
Okay, I think that was my confusion because I thought you said that one of the guards came.
I guess
As-
that's true. There would be a guard here. So yeah, I think I was thinking guards, so I got a little off my own. So yes. So yeah. The yeah.
There-
The head guard here would be the only guard here would be Philip Paceman.
Okay.
Okay.
Then that would be the other name.
yeah.
Okay. And so
Make them butt heads over
Or then you just make some enemies.
It makes them enemies for a certain amount of rounds, but that gives us enough time to cause a cave in and get
Yeah.
the miners out.
So I'll say
Yeah.
for this, you can put in whatever signal you're going to do.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just the action has to be with you. So when you do this,
Yeah.
this is when this happens.
Should we give him like a time he should do it, and then we blow it up and we do the rest? Would that work?
It could.
Or should we do something first, that being the signal for him? We should do something first and that being the signal, because I doubt the prisoners have clocks.
Yeah.
If we're sort of
We're
if-
brainstorming. Help.
if what we're gonna do is something that's gonna cause a distraction, we've got one character collecting some dynamite, the guard and the head of BNL having friction as a large accident is occurring will just add to the confusion. The only two people who are really supposed to be in charge arguing instead of doing anything useful would help help further that opening. So I think that would be sort of we do something, we create some kind of distraction, and then the only two authority figures are not able to work together.
Yeah.
But that's just a thought. If that's the road
I think that's probably the best thought, because I kind of went with like what everyone was saying. So, yeah, why don't we say like we'll cause a big distraction, then he should put the names in, and he'll know it because it's us, and we'll make a big ass distraction, and then he should take the prisoners and run.
What if we did it on? Well, no, because the old ladies and stuff. I don't want to get the old ladies.
Yeah, let's
hurt.
not
Never
get the old
mind.
ladies, even though they're
Yeah.
mean old bats.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. We cause a distraction. He writes the names, and then they can leave. And I think we need to set up a point. Ruby would have gotten the general location as to like direction as to where he's planning on taking these men,
So that we can leave the food.
so we can
You
leave
got
food.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think because I want to make sure that we have motion here. In the interest of that, we're gonna do a mechanic. I think I'm gonna say you can't use edge for this mechanic, but you can do a flashback for 3 points out of a pool, and that can give you an asset or something kind of interesting, or a plan to have. And we just kind of go back to that scene.
Okay. I
Because
guess
you've kind of had this, you've talked to prisoners, you're at the church, like these things we've kind of established that you've done. That way we're more moving forward than spending time
Yeah.
with a lot of this. Because I think what you have in store, like he gets the idea. Cool, like things are going, I'm going to create a disagreement between these two by writing the names in the book. You got it.
Sounds like a plan.
How many prisoners are there?
There's 50 men working.
50 men working. How much food did we bring? Like, is it a good amount for 50, or is it more than enough, or not enough?
I'm gonna say for this, it was pretty much precisely what you needed.
Okay, thank you.
Because they don't do waste. They're like, this is what we're bringing.
Gotcha.
Abby comes back to the group. So how'd everything go so far?
Think we got a plan?
Good. I emptied my bread basket. It's pretty full,
Ooh.
though.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if anyone my pa used to tell me that there's an underground railroads near here. If we could maybe talk to the prisoners using those.
Would the Underground Railroads be common knowledge in this?
I mean, I don't know because Underground Railroad just stops
Yeah.
where you could sleep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure how because you're trying to say you would know this. You would know like where to send them, and also whether they'd be like good for prisoners because they're like people's homes,
Uh-huh.
right? So I don't know.
I don't think that
how
would
you would
be
do
a good
that.
idea.
Oh, good, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I
Never
was
mind.
a little confused. I was like, wait a second. The Underground Railroad wasn't actually a railroad. And I wouldn't know if that would be common knowledge in the 20s, so.
Guys, I did collect some dynamite, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're keeping that safe, aren't you?
Yeah, it's in the bread basket.
Well, I
it's in
think
the
we have our
bread.
distraction.
Yep.
Oh! Did you guys need a distraction?
Yeah, not right now. Not right now. It's gonna be for another day.
Okay.
But good thinking. Good thinking.
Yeah, I just saw it lying around, so somehow I ended up in here.
Oh. They need to take better care of their stuff, apparently. Alright, well, I guess we need to finish. I guess we finish up here and then we go home and figure everything else out.
Wait for dark, yeah. I think Charlie might have like 4 engagements going with granddaughters.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know at this point if I'm still over with, if I'm still over helping with. I'm not sure I've even played it all yet, but
Well,
Yeah. I mean, if we want to go to your plane, we can. How you guys want to do? Whatever you want to do next is sort of what you want to do.
let's listen to Charlie play.
Okay.
Hey, Ivy, do you think you could sneak this book into Ross's room without him noticing?
Possibly.
Never mind, it's a bad idea.
I think it's time for the hymns. Who's excited?
Charlie.
Kevin goes, all right, men, stand up. Let's give thanks.
Oof. So Charlie will get up, look out, and he's just going to think to himself, boy, it's never a good sign when your audience is standing. Unless they're dancing, I don't think they're going to let these boys dance. So he will go ahead and start with a little rendition of good goof. Yeah, you're in for it now. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. And he'll start in with that, very, very traditional.
All right. Is there anything you're attempting to do with this?
Not really. Hey, he had originally envisioned this as part of the distraction. So at this point, he's just sort of, he promised he would, so he's going to play. I guess if there is a.
So this is to give them cover?
That was the original idea, but I don't think the timing worked because I was sort of talking with the old ladies while they were having the conversation. So I think that kind of went there. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I guess, you know what, for the sake of argument, just for a little bit of preparedness, get, just a little bit of a old school charm. Get the prisoners to sort of, what the best word to say is, have a favorable impression of him. You might start doing playing some hymns after that. Amazing Grace already is. He's using some hymns that might be based on spirituals and other things that, might give a sense of freedom, we'll call it, and just sort of get that vibe going.
Incite our riot. Incite our riot.
Not quite that, but just a little bit of make them amenable to the idea that maybe they can do something. Maybe they can, if the chance arises, if Ty starts talking to them, they would be amenable to, hey, maybe we can make the situation better. Maybe we take a chance.
Yeah, give me an intellect challenge, rating 3.
3? Okay. So is that where it starts?
Yes.
So I'm trained in performance.
Okay, absolutely.
So that would be
good under 2.
Under 2. And again, that's all right. We'll give that a shot. That's 6 or higher. That's a 12. All right.
Prep the riot. Prep the riot.
Okay. So, cool. So we'll kind of put that around there as far as this might work. And so what are the rest of you doing? So where do you want to go from here with what you guys want to?
So what's your guys' plan exactly?
I think we should probably wait to talk about that when we're not in the middle of it.
Well, there's noise, so I would say this at least provides you cover if you wanted to have a conversation.
Okay. As we're packing up all the stuff.
Go ahead.
So you guys were talking about distraction.
We're going to cause a distraction, and then Ty's going to cause some people to fight, and then they're going to run away. And we're going to provide them food.
So, are we causing the distraction tomorrow morning when they're all here, or when, or how we do it?
When they're in the mine. Or
So we're going to blow up the mine when they're in the mine.
No, like maybe right before, maybe right after.
Honestly, I think we should wait a couple of days. Give us time to get everything set up the way we want it to get set up.
Time for me to examine mines and read about mines and see the best way to do a safe detonation. Yeah. What?
We should wait a couple of days. So it doesn't look like it happened because of something like, oh God, there were newcomers or something that they did,
Alright, blame the old ladies.
Well, we could blame the old ladies. Yeah.
They tempted them with good food and home cooking.
It was all the preacher. I didn't really like his sermon anyways. No, you're right. We probably should wait a few days. And then Basil can research mines and how to blow them up. Or maybe you can try to find... I mean, we have to get them out of the mine without people noticing them leaving the mine after the explosion.
Well, we do have the mine map, so maybe I can find another exit for them to go out while we're blowing up that one part. No, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
the
we
mine's
should-
down, like one of those down mines. Like, so there's only one way up and entrance, I think.
How far away from the town is the mine?
It's about a good hour's walk.
How
I
close
don't
is
think
the
we-
railroad to the mine?
So what we need here is we need the two guys to fight the warden and the guy from the mine, right?
Right.
Okay, so
Not,
we'll
not
need
the warden,
guy from
the guard. The
The
guard
guard.
and the yes.
Okay, so we'll
The
need to get,
warden's not here.
but we'll need to get them at least away from the mine fighting.
Well,
Because once the explosion happens, they'll run towards the mine.
how close is the railroad to the mine? Is that how they bring in all the food and how they bring in the workers every day?
I know it's mostly done by cart and everything. The railroad doesn't come up to the mine. It has to be taken to the general town. Like all the iron is then and then shipped off on a cart once a week.
Does anybody ride the cart when they bring the supplies down?
Talking here, it's mostly done. Right from the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly it's Ty Donovan.
It's mostly Ty. He's the most trustworthy.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
So we have to make it look like they all died in the mine.
No, we want them to look like they escaped from the
Okay,
mine.
we want
Because that's going to be even more bad on them.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So
what if we don't blow up the mine per se?
What if
But-
So okay, I got an idea.
Okay.
We get everybody to act like they're going in the mine, right? So
Right.
then the two people that are in charge, the guards and what's his face, see them in the mine, and then we cause an outside distraction to cause those guys to run off. So then they leave Ty in the mine for the minute, right? Well, then after, because if we do this right, then once they're gone, Ty and them can escape, and then we can blow up the mine, causing Ty and them to be free, and also blaming the mining and the guards for the death of all the prisoners, which will look bad for the warden. Or he'll either have to split with the railroad.
I feel like I feel like if we make it look like the prisoners died, it's just going to get swept under the rug like everything else has. If there's a huge prison escape, then that's going to be worse.
Okay, then we can blame the prison escape on the mine. Like the prisoners blew up the mine as afterwards.
What if we wait for the prisoners to go into the mine and then we blow up the cart with all the supplies on it? So not only did they lose all the prisoners, but they also lose hundreds of dollars worth of supplies.
Oh. That's a good idea too.
That way the explosion isn't anywhere near the prisoners and they won't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can get Ty to park the cart near the all the supplies that day near the what's his face's office. So then when it goes up, he'll have to be close there and he won't be close to the mine, and that's how they can get their escape going.
I like it.
And then it will look intentional like it was the prisoners. Because Ty would have been driving the cart.
Yeah,
So
I like it.
Alright. Charlie, what do you think?
Charlie's singing.
Charlie's in the middle of swing low, sweet chariot.
We'll
Come
talk
and
to Charlie when we
carry
get
me
home. How about that?
And every now and then Charlie is shooting looks at the three of them when they start talking too loud.
I would just give you the thumbs up nod.
Every time you shoot a look, I'm gonna sing off key really loudly.
All right. So we got a plan.
We have a plan.
All right. Guess we should do this. I guess we could finish up here and head home, do our preparations, and then do this.
I think we should just do it today.
Right
you wanted
now.
to give a little bit of time, right?
I mean,
I
we're here.
Yeah, but we're here. That would be
All right, fine. I just wanted to see those little ladies' faces when something blew up.
You just want to give them all heart attacks.
Kinda.
I mean,
They were very mean to Miss Ruby.
they were pretty mean. I don't know what I did to offend them, but they were pretty mean.
Whichever one of the old ladies is like this has been the sourest to Charlie, as he's leaving, he's just gonna wink at her.
Heathen.
Just to give them something else to talk about when they're heading back. Ruby's gonna interlock her arm with Charlie.
All right. Then you begin making your way after giving this item of power to Donovan, let him know that you're working on something and be ready this next week. And all the singing is done. You go having just given food and a few ideas to the inmates here at B&O number 14. So, what do y'all want to do?
You know what? It's probably a good thing that we don't do it right away because I think some of us are still hurt. Me, I'm some of us.
Why are you still hurt?
Dude, that guy in the woods kicked my ass.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He kicked my ass and took names.
At some point on the walk home, while Ruby links arms with Charlie, Charlie's like, "What is going?" And then he notices the bread basket. It's like, Miss Ivy, what have you been all up? What have you all been up to?
Oh, we got ideas.
I can tell.
Did you all see Big Jim? He was like the biggest dude in there. I gave him one of Miss Ruby's favorite dime novels.
I'm glad we all made friends.
He's got a little life at home.
Well, he'll have ideas when he gets home, won't he?
That was exactly my thought.
Yep.
You all had much nicer conversations than I did.
What?
Oh,
you're not engaged to any of their granddaughters yet?
Basil, you would think I had a set of horns on my head and a tail coming out my behind. So no, only one of them, and I'm not so sure about her.
Does she have a worse reputation than me in this town?
Miss Ruby, you are just like a flower, and I'm not sure anyone has a worse reputation than you, other than perhaps me.
What is my reputation in this town? Just because I'm good looking, it's fine. Whatever.
Jealous is a very ugly thing on most women.
All the girls at school think you dress the prettiest.
Oh, aren't they sweet? That's because I do.
And I think most of the boys have a crush on you.
She's preening now.
Oh, Charlie, can you carry this?
Be careful with that.
See, the problem is, Miss Ruby, especially with this group, they can see you and think Jezebel when they don't realize you're Bathsheba. I may have read the Bible last night.
Oh,
So Charlie will, he's slung his guitar. I'm assuming he's still linked arms with Ruby. He takes the bread basket. Before he takes the bread basket, he hands the hymnal to Ivy. Says, I'm probably not heading back to the church anytime soon. I have a lot of people I'd like to avoid. Next time you do, if you could return this, I had to borrow it.
Ooh, tomorrow's lesson. Thank you. She pulls it up, puts it in her bag. Here you go. Now, these are heavy.
yeah, just be careful with that.
It's fine. We're just church going folk.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
And Ruby would be like, "There's dynamite in there."
I know. I done seen it. I done seen it. And he's keeping a big smile on his face. So, what exactly do we have to do to prepare for this little plan y'all have? Do we need other? Well, he looks down the bread basket. Well, we got ourselves some fireworks, but is there anything else we need?
We need to gather up some food for the 50 men for their escape, so they can have some energy.
If any of the little old ladies are looking at them now, I'm going to start talking to Miss Ivy about how I can't believe how that so-called respectable man, Mr. Ross, said that Chaucer was one of his favorites. On a tangent.
I know. How unbelievable.
How uncouth.
Give me a intellect challenge, rating 3.
Well, I have 2 edge in intellect.
Hold on. I think I might have something like that. I might have something.
So you can spend 1 intellect point in order to lower it down to 2.
No, I have 2 edge. Doesn't that mean I can lower it down twice?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's a discount of 2 on your effort cost.
Can I give her encouragement to help with that for persuasion?
Yeah, sure. That would be down to 3.
So I need a 6 or higher.
Sorry, down to 1, so you need a 3 or higher.
I got a 6. I'm fine either way.
Charlie's mind starts racing when he hears that we need to get food for 50 men that we're gonna leave for them as they're escaping. Thinking, I don't cook. I don't know exactly. All right.
Yeah, we'll figure
All right.
it out. We'll figure it out.
I have an idea, but it's considered stealing.
Well, so we do know that the provisions sent to prison. There's just a woman, Ruby Maybeard.
Mm-hmm.
She's in charge of the provisions sent to the prison. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much is flour?
Just kind of depends. What are you trying to do?
Well, Basil being a good old forest folk, do you know how many people you can feed with flour and water and an egg?
No, I do not. Space.
Alive.
I'm afraid I don't.
It's called dumplings, and it is super freaking easy to make. And it can feed a lot of people, and all we really need is like a bag or 2 of flour and like a couple eggs.
And if you throw in some spices, I'm sure it's better than what they feed them at the prison.
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably more filling too. That's what we used to eat when we were out and we had to camp.
Oh, all right.
Because it also gives you energy. I don't remember what they used to call it. Something about scratches, starches, something.
So we just need to get a bunch of flour and some eggs.
That's amazing.
Okay. So we're gonna get ourselves some ingredients to make some dumplings.
It's so easy, Charlie. I think I can make you learn it.
That's all right, because don't you need to be? I'm assuming that you sort of filled Charlie most of the way in on your conversation,
Yeah.
but were you gonna? You guys still need to figure out where you're gonna cause this
How we already figured out.
accident.
We're gonna blow up the wagon.
Oh, okay.
That way we don't have to blow up the mine and we don't hurt any miners. And that way when the prison's not allowed to do that, the men and women that are out of work here can go back to mining.
But isn't there something in the mine we don't want people dealing with?
That's a valid point too. Maybe we'll blow up the mine after we get the prisoners out.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, well, I gotta go look at some books then about the correct way to dynamite a mine.
I was just gonna throw a couple. Okay, you should probably do that.
One explosion at a time, Miss Ivy. And Charlie is now looking at Ivy like, I don't remember this particular interest, but I guess.
Gotta protect Toby.
You found Toby?
No, gotta protect Toby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
I mean, every good child should know how to cause an explosion. They're very useful when fighting forest fires.
You think that could be a good lesson for the kids?
How to control a forest fire? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Moms tend to get mad when you start talking about fire with little boys for some reason. Like it's unnatural that they would want to start a fire.
She's
I'm
just
so
taking notes.
lost right now. Ruby is so lost on the conversation. She's just like, she's staring off in outer space.
So are we heading back to the
Homestead? Homestead, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Miss Ivy wants to change out of that itchy dress.
Yes.
Okay. And so how many days do we want to wait to do this? It's depending on how long it takes to make dumplings and how long
Oh,
they
dumplings take a half hour.
Okay.
Seriously, it's a big bottle. It's a big pot of water. You boil the water. You mix flour with water and eggs, and then you scoop it in there. Dumplings are done.
Gotcha.
When the
I
floats
mean-
are done.
I guess I could work a couple days and then ask that my employer for an advance in work, so we don't have to steal the flour and eggs.
No, do we not have chickens? I thought we had chickens.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about the eggs. And I'll
Okay.
just add the flour, Miss Ivy.
All right. So what are you trying to do?
Honestly, I'm lost. I don't know what we're doing right now.
Well, Ruby's gonna go collect eggs from chickens. I'm gonna give Miss Ivy money to go buy flour, and I'm gonna go research how you blow up a mine safely.
And I guess that Charlie is making dumplings.
Yup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with this. You're spending your time. You're going to make some food, some dumplings to leave for the prisoners.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And okay, then you're going to go ahead and research Demolitions.
Yes. Proper demolition.
Then what's Ruby doing again?
Getting eggs for chicken.
Eggs. And what's Ivy
Okay.
doing?
Flour.
Flour. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I gotcha. So, all right. So we got that, and we've got the three of you coming together to make food.
Mm.
That sounds good. That's easy enough. Rolling, like, I mean, you can definitely get that, which would give you an asset on some tasks here. So you spend your time doing that. Anything in particular, like what? Anything else?
How much money does Basil give Ivy?
Probably more than enough.
Okay, so Ivy goes into the
the thing.
store.
Basil was a debutante before she went out west.
Good to know.
She kind of comes
So-
from money, so she kind of doesn't know what things cost.
Ivy goes in the store. She's going to go up, bring this huge bag of flour, and a bunch of random things like candy, flowers, and then she goes and uses one of her powers to Jedi mind trick the flour. They never saw the flour. I never had flour with me. I erased 5 minutes of their mind. They never saw me put flour on the counter. I paid for everything else.
I never saw the. There is no.
That's
flour.
fine. I mean, you got people. You got to make your way you need to, and well, sometimes you just need some flour. And you know, if they really understood everything that was going on, you know, they donate it.
This comes back. Basil, look at all the gifts I got.
Oh shit!
Lovely, honey. How'd you do that?
They were free. Here's some flowers.
The best thing is Basil's got her head stuck in a book. She didn't even look up. She's like, "Oh, lovely. Oh, good job."
Charlie's attempting to figure out how to boil water,
I think Ruby would be helping.
and so he just kind of looks over as he's in the middle of this distractedly and goes, "But are we giving them candy too? I'm very lost on what we're doing for food for these boys."
No, that's right, Toby.
Oh, that makes much more sense. Why is this not boiling, Miss Ruby?
Because you're watching it. Watched water doesn't boil. Get away from the water.
I do not understand cooking.
Men. You'll
Alright,
hear it when it starts to boil, I promise.
All right.
All right. All right. In that case, I'm gonna say there is a knock on the door.
I'll get the door, I guess.
You open up the door and you see the very familiar conductor's uniform of the Tweetsies, the passenger railroad that runs up and down and through Appalachia. Gentleman with the white beard who greets him and introduces himself as Wilson Randolph.
Good day.
Oh, good day. Miss Wilson, who have the pleasures of house to arrive at here?
This is my house. Ivy.
Ivy. Well, Miss Ivy, it's pleased to meet you.
Are you looking for somebody, mister?
In a manner of speaking. Not entirely sure what his first name is going to be right now, but tends to eventually always have Johnson somewhere in there.
You said earlier, Matt, at the beginning that this person recognized me.
Mm-hmm.
So do I know who this person is?
If you come out and look,
Right.
you recognize him in the way, really, because he's got his uniform on. You've seen him as a conductor, and your travels back and forth. And he's helped you out a few times, likely.
Okay.
So it was kind more. Like, maybe as long as you weren't doing anything too crazy, he wasn't going to quite,
Mhm.
mess with you and that type of thing.
So I know his name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So Charlie will come out. You're like,
Wilson Randolph.
yeah. Mr. Randolph. It's been a while. I have not seen you in quite a few months, sir. What is and Charlie's gonna walk forward a bit. He's not too big, but he's gonna walk forward so that he's by Ivy. He's a little on guard.
Say, I was surprised to see here. You putting down roots, man?
Well, every so often, even musicians need to take a rest for a while. And I've met some folks willing to put up with me.
Well, that's good. That's good you like it this year. How's population? Everyone staying put well?
Well, I haven't been here that long. I mean, it's not a very big community.
It's getting small every time we come by here.
Yeah, certainly seems that way.
Yeah. I won't make much of this. Kind of looks and sees a few of y'all in here. Goes, well, I can tell. Saw you walking over with them church folk. You found Jesus or something?
Oh well. Sometimes you gotta. He looks at him. He knows he can't BS this too much. He goes, sometimes you gotta hedge your bets and see what you can find. But there's some boys they got run the local mine, and sometimes the local church likes to bring them some food and give them a better meal. And well, we decided on this day that we would help them out. I mean, if you need the details on that, you'll have to go to the church yourself, sir.
No, nothing like that. You play your music for them boys.
Oh yes, I can play all kinds of music, and they seem to enjoy it. Different kind of crowd than I'm used to, as I'm sure you understand. But music is one of those common things amongst all of us.
Well, it's always good to find a place where they don't know our past, huh? I'm not here to do much here. What is it, Charlie now?
My name's Charlie Johnson, sir.
Mm-hmm. Listen. He takes a bag aside and he plops it down, and you see a large amount of letters, all postmarked. All these have been sent from Avery County, trying to find people. All to people who've left, because that mine being run by the prison now. Heck, anyone who lost their job, we've been giving a discount to help them find a new place. Did you know that?
I think I might have heard something along those lines.
Yeah, well, not one of these letters have found the person whom they were addressed to. You see all no such name, so none, no such address on them. Not one, Charlie. And I looked around, they ain't here. That's over 100 people. People get on a railroad. Well, they don't make it.
They don't. What do you mean they don't make it?
People say, where'd you drop them off? And only answer I have is I didn't drop them off at all. They never got off my train, but they ain't there. I'm sure you're all busy, and I don't know this place real well. But use some help figuring this out. There's one thing I know about you. You always have ways to make things work. I'm not sure how many times you really got on our train with the actual money to get on, but you sure had it when you got off. Whether it was in goods or, well, they liked you more at the end. You're resourceful. And, well, I got a lot of ways to get tickets for people. You could be a friend of the Tweetsies. You and is this your family now, Charlie?
Yes, he says without hesitation. Yes.
Listen, you know, it ain't our jobs. We care about all the communities we serve. This one's getting less, and we were trying to help them out, but they may be getting less here, but no one's getting more because of it. You look into this.
Charlie is going to, I don't know exact the blocking, but Charlie is going to get a little closer to him and sort of maybe even very, very slightly and very gently move Ivy back. And Charlie is not being threatening at all. That's not what this is. He's actually just sort of coming in close and says, Mr. Randolph, you know that we do have that history, and if this is something that is concerning you, I am happy to try to help, because I know that you've helped me in the past. But I do have a family now that I need to protect. And I just want you to know that before you and I get potentially wrapped up in something again.
Well, listen, I don't know if this is only something for people who get on our train or get in something else. But not everybody who's getting this mail left by our train, Charlie. This might have to do with keeping this family of yours safe. And the way they carry themselves, I imagine they give you more help than even I know. Listen, I'm gonna be staying in town for a while. I took a leave here because I want to know what's going on.
Okay. All right. Because you're right. This place is a home. These people are trying to make, and so if there's things like this going on, it has to be, and it must be looked into. And
Sorry to disturb y'all's dinner.
and just because I don't know, he would, if Charlie would have enough of an idea to actually suggest to him where to stay, so that Charlie knows where he is and how to get and how to contact him.
Yeah, it would work. There's a
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Charlie will give him that.
Yes, that is like Miss Ivy.
Good day, Mr. Wilson. I look forward to maybe riding one of your trains these days.
Just a word to the wise. Keep your eyes about you and keep your wits about you in this town.
I pauses. All right. Way. What would you like to do?
Charlie, do we really get to ride a train?
Charlie is going to turn and look at him and say, "Well, we might be able to." He kind of looks at all three of them. So there were two reasons that I agreed, perhaps faster than I should, on our behalf to look into this. One is that we all know there's something going on here beyond just a political issue with prisoners and mines. And did he leave the bag of letters?
That was going to be my question.
Did he leave those with us, or
He did.
okay? So Troy just kind of look over and very treacherously sort of nudge it with his foot and said, "And if folks are going missing, then that's something we all have to. That seems, I would think, that would be our concern."
Maybe we could go through and see if any of us recognize any of the names or anything like that.
The second reason, Mr. Randolph and I gone back a while on and off, and he pauses and does look at, he actually at this point very much looks all of you in the eye and says, "My name is Charlie, but I don't always give that name to people that I don't trust. So, just so y'all know."
What name do you normally give?
Oh, there's a good 10 or 12 of them.
What's your top two?
Samuel and Aloysius.
I'm sorry, Aloysius?
People trust those folks named Aloysius.
Oh. Do they? Oh, okay.
But, so, Mr. Randolph is... Actually, can I do a... I don't know if the judge on this at the time or after the fact, but I have my new training in a past deception. So could I have picked up anything? Did I get the sense he was hiding anything from me?
Okay, and you're like skilled with it, or is it an ability?
It is trained.
You're trained with it. Okay, yeah. So give me an intellect challenge.
Okay.
P3.
P3. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that out of 3 and see. 15. All right.
I would say get that. He might not totally believe that especially the four of yours presence here is unrelated to what's going on.
Mm.
You might have a suspicion. You think he actually does, probably, but he doesn't know. It's kind of 50-50 on whether you could be a help or you're the reason things are going wrong, and possibly all of you. Like everyone is guilty by association in a sense, but he also doesn't know.
Right.
He's very much like just your tricks and stuff, and just seeing this very eclectic group of people. Looks a lot more like a crew than it does a family to him.
The dynamite gave it away. I'm not sure. Yeah. So Charlie will just the end of his little spiel to you. Charlie just says, "I hate to say that there are worse people out of my past that could have knocked on our door, but I do apologize that my past is roping you all into something. But I owe this man."
Someone was at the door?
It's all right, Basil. We'll fill you in later.
Oh, all right.
The water's boiling.
Oh, jeez, oh, God. Charlie runs into the kitchen. It's like, okay, now what? What do I do now? It's bubbling like a cauldron. He's completely distracted.
She'll show him what to do next.
All right, very good. So I'd say with that, your preparations are probably complete to what you want to do.
Mhm.
And then I think come back next session, we'll kind of be, I think, getting on with what you're trying to accomplish.
Boom!
Yeah. So I would say just got to think of the way you want to go about it. Probably some GM intrusions and kind of where we come to on those things.
Guys, I tried. I can't. It was so boring. Check Discord. I found it for 1911. How you would safely use explosives in a coal mine. So goddamn boring. I could not.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
I took a
love
snapshot
you.
of the front page. I can't read it. It's too
I
boring.
love you so much.
All right, those watching, thank you so much. We'll get to a little more coming next week. See you then, family.
Good night,
Good
baby.
night.